the infamous trolley problem. Seen by some as an interesting wee question that's just a laugh to answer, or by others as a ridiculous hypothetical that bears no resemblance to anything that we'll ever have to encounter, and therefore useless. I'm inclined to disagree with the latter, and I'll go into why. In this short video, I just want to go over a few variations that will hopefully help you to think about things in a different way, and help me to understand why I think the way I do about them. What is the trolley problem? The main iteration of the trolley problem consists of you standing at a junction in a railway line, where there is one person tied up on one of the lines and 5 people on the other one. The moral dilemma arises when we are told that if the train is left on its course, it's going to kill the 5 people, and we are told that we have the power to save the 5 people by pulling a lever to change the path of the trolley, which will send it along the path with the one person, killing him instead. So why is this even a question? Isn't it obvious that instead of killing the 5 people, we should pull the lever and instead only kill the one? Well, that depends. Are we really the killers of the 5 if we don't pull the lever? With the situation set up in the way that it is when we find ourselves placed in it, these 5 people are going to die. If we never showed up, they'd be dead. The single man on the railway, however, in the same situation, all things left to their course, he's going to live. That is, unless that we decide that the 5 are worth more than him on account of their number. If we pull the lever, we change the course of events, and his blood is most definitely on our hands, as without our intervention, he would be going home, provided someone were kind enough to untie him. So look, to me, the answer is very simple. As a Catholic, I live by a certain set of principles, of which the most pertinent here is, one may not do evil so that good may come of it. To apply that to this situation, one would not be permitted to actively kill a person to save more, despite this resulting in the deaths of 5 people. And to reply to the question that some may have of, isn't killing or at least ensuring the deaths of 5 people in order to save one person also doing evil? And I would reply that, in this instance, no it isn't. Because as mentioned previously, I haven't set it up. I've only been placed into this situation. All things left to their course, that one man lives and those 5 die. And if the only way, and I emphasise the only way, to save them is to kill someone, that would not be permissible. Now thankfully, in reality, there would likely be other ways to solve this situation, and these principles would never actually have to be tested. But it is interesting to know where your morals are and why. Now for those utilitarians among you who prize maximising good above everything else, who would have pulled that lever, I found an example of someone who feels this way on Reddit, and I'd like to use it as an example. This unnamed Reddit user is absolutely convinced of the correctness of his stance, to the point of feeling like the question itself is bereft of any value, as the answer is so apparent. To him, the fact that actively killing the 1 to save the 5 is correct is as obvious a truth as the world being round. But to us who believe the opposite, this seems to suggest that a utilitarian may decide that in order to save 2 people from a shark, he may push you in the water to buy the time needed to escape. This ensures that more people survive than die. But is that really moral? For this reason, it made me wonder that if someone who believes that pulling the lever is the right and moral thing to do, would they actually put this into practice if they were placed in a similar situation? Utilitarians, please feel free to let me know what you think at this point, and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts. Before I finish this video up, there is one more trolley problem iteration I'd like to talk about. I saw this one in a video of Alex O'Connor, and I was really interested in it as it gets deeper into the matter of what is the point of morality. It's set up as follows. If you do not pull the lever, a man will die. However, right after the event, you have the memory of it erased by a laser. You will forget ever having killed the man and get on with your life guilt-free. The second choice is to pull the lever, which results in you believing that you've killed someone. However, no one has actually died. You will live the rest of your life with that guilt on your conscience. However, you haven't actually killed anyone. Now, assuming that before you make the choice, all this information is available to you, including what you will have a memory of afterwards, what would you choose? Genuinely, pause and take a second to think. Okay, so this can be simplified in this way. Kill someone and live guilt-free, or don't kill someone and endure a lifetime of guilt because you sacrificed your own peace of mind in exchange for their life. For me, again, this one is simple. If I killed a man knowing that I'd forget about it, I'd still believe that at the end of my life I'd be sitting in front of a judge who knew full well that I knew that he knew that I knew what I was doing when I made that choice. A lack of guilt during my life would be a small consolation compared with dealing with that at the end. But even without that aspect, I still can't imagine myself killing someone in order to spare me suffering, and I'm absolutely positive that many who don't share my beliefs would also agree that it would be better to think that you had killed someone than to actually have killed someone. However, as I've learned from reading YouTube comments, there are some seriously cold and callous people. If the choice between a life of guilt or a life without it, despite the cost of that being someone's death, what would really be stopping someone from not pulling that lever and just forgetting about it? It would be as if it never happened. How easy would it be to just let it happen, ignore the lever, and bang, laser, and you just get on with your life after the fact? If anyone does think this is the correct option, I would be fascinated to hear your thoughts on that. I'm not here to judge, I just want to understand. I'm Jimmy McMahon, thanks for watching.